Hello students, here is Divya Singh, Assistant Professor, School of Computer Applications, BBD University. So now in this lecture, we see the topics that are postpaid electronic systems. In this, we see the topics that is IKP, Cybercash, SET, FSTC electronic check, mandate electronic check, net check, and first virtual. Now see what is IKP. IKP is a family of secure payment protocols developed by IBM designed to allow buyer to pay for goods and services, that is of both electronic and non-electronic nature. Overall, internet while relying on exciting financial clearing network to implement the necessary payments, though developed at IBM, the technology has been immediately disclosed by public review. It uses strong cryptography in the very secure way, but packages in it such that it satisfy usage and import export restrictions in most countries. The first prototype was designed to work with credit cards, but the intrinsic design was flexible and would allow supporting other payment instruments in due time. The first prototype was also entirely stationed, do not include secure hardware and support smart card readers, but provisions been made in the design to accommodate such device later. The IKP proposal turned absolute and was superseded by the development of SET, which is heavily influenced by IKP as IBM joined the SET bandwagon. Also, Europay used IKP as the foundation for the payment protocol, which itself has since then moved towards the adoption of the SET protocol. The participants in the IKP protocols are buyers, that is customers, sellers, that is merchants, seller bank, that is acquirer, since it acquires paper charge slip from sellers. Buyer banks, that is issuer, since it issue charge card to buyers. In the context of IKP, they acquire function as a gateway between the internet and the existing financial network that support transactions between banks. An acquirer map the IKP protocols conduct on the internet to the protocols utilized on the financial networks. IKP requires no changes in the communication between the issuers and the acquirer banks. Communication between the buyer and the seller are assumed to occur over a public network, such as internet. IKP has been specifically designed to address security issues that arises in this environment. Communication between the sellers and the acquirers may be via the internet or over private channels, and IKP may be used in either cases. Secure financial networks already exist in content acquirer to issuer. Consequently, IKP assumes that adequately security is already in place between these parties. These transactions are summarized and depicted in this figure. That is, issuer gives the financial network to the acquirer, and acquirer gives the internet or private networks to the seller, and the seller then on the internet with the internet connects with the buyer. This is the transaction flow in the IKP systems. The three protocol scenarios are the payment authorization will with cancellation options, next payment clearance, that is capture, and third is inquiry. Now see what is payment authorization. In payment authorization, it is assumed that prior to invoking IKP, the buyers and sellers have agreed on the purchase order details, price or currency, and the payment methods. Here in the diagram, we see that buyers initiate to the seller, and then seller gives the invoice, and then the buyer gives the payment, and if the seller wants to cancel the option, then the cancel options, and then if the buyer do not cancel the option, then order confirmation is given to the buyer. Next, in the seller to acquirer communication, the authorization request is given to the acquirer and the authorization response is given by the acquirer. Next, would see what is clearance capture. This is the basic payment protocol. The seller may choose to combine payment authorization with payment clearing, or the seller may decide to only authorize payment and perform the actual clearance or capture function at some later time. Regardless of the acquirer decisions in authorization response, the seller sends a confirm, that is, even if the response is negative to the buyer, if the seller chooses to or is forced to delay contacting the acquirer, he can send a status flow to the buyer after receiving payments. This is to keep the buyer abreast of the transaction status. Now, see what is payment clearance or capture. At the discretion of the seller, payment clearance may be performed either as a part of authorization or postponed it until later. This protocol supports delayed separate clearance. However, the acquirer is at liberty to dictate its policy on this subject to all consequent sellers. Multiple clearance flow against payment authorization. In this diagram, we see that this is the transaction flow of IKP payment clearance. That is, buyer after previous authorization, seller will give the pay transaction with the acquirer, that is clearance request and clearance response. Now see what is refund. Sellers may issue fund for previously cleared payments are typically triggered by consumers, buyers and interactions between buyer and seller that leads to an eventual refund is assumed to take place offline. For all practical purposes, within an IKP, a refund transaction is equivalent to and treated as a clearance or capture transaction. This is mainly because a refund is essentially a clearance with the negative amount. The difference between a refund and a clearance manifests itself only with the domain of the financial clearing network. So in the diagram, we see that there is a buyer. We see the refund process, that is a transaction flow in IKP payment refund. The buyer gives the inquiry to the seller, and seller gives the status of confirm or cancel to the buyer that the refund is being confirmed or not. Next, what is inquiry? The buyer can ask the seller about the status of the specific payment flow. The seller must be able to respond for some time after the payment transaction is completed. The exact time period is determined by the seller or may be specified by financial institutions. Next is security. The IKP technology is based on RSA public key cryptography. Depending on the requirements on the electronic payment transaction, using IKP may involve one or two or three public keys. In all cases, the bank acquiring the transaction for processing will have a public or private key pair for receiving confidential information such as credit card number and signing authorization messages. In many cases, the merchant, that is, and even customers, will also have a public or private key pair for receiving confidential information, signing payment request, and purchases confirmation. In all cases, they have a PIN for confirming payment authorization. Now, see what is cyber cash. The mean cyber cash transaction system is based around secure credit card payments. This takes advantage of the existing pair electronic payment system and simply integrates the merchant side software with CyberCash servers, acting as a gateway between the merchant on the internet and the bank's secure financial network. The transactions is in the cyber cache is given that in this diagram the customer, after selling the goods, places in order with the merchant and in return receives an invoice. The customer uses the CyberCash wallet to pay for the order. The wallet generates encrypted payment information which is sent to the merchant. The merchant then strips the order from the packets, digitally signs the payment advices, and send it to the CyberCash servers. The CyberCash servers then takes the transactions of the internet, uses the dedicated hardware to decrypt it, reformats the message, and forwards it to the merchant's bank. The merchant's bank then forward the transaction to the customer's bank from where the sends an approval or denial is sent back to the merchant's bank. That code is then sent back to the CyberCash server. The CyberCash then send the approval or denial code back to the merchant. Now see the transactions flow online set of exchanges between the customers and the merchant CyberCash and the customer merchant's bank have been in summary. Because of the cybercash systems makes extensive use of the existing secure transaction networks, it is very attractive to major banking houses. In addition, since it does not require merchants to establish new banking relationship, it is attractive to them too. However, the system is not economical for small payments because of the use of credit card as the grounding financial instrument. Also, there are doubt about its scalability due to the use of central servers as cybercash to interface between the internet and the secure financial networks. Now see what is SIT. The SET TM specification is an open technical standard for commerce development in by Visa and MasterCard. It facilitates secure payment card transaction over the internet. Digital certificates create a trust chain throughout the transaction verifying cardholder and merchant validity. Now, see the transaction apart from the customer, the merchant, the issuer, and the acquirer use set the merchant, the issuer, and the acquirer. The set uses a payment gateway and a certification authority. A payment gateway PG that is similar to the CyberCash server described earlier is the device operated by the acquirer or a designated third party that process merchant payment. Messages include payment instructions and customers. All customer merchants payment gateway, issuer and acquirer, and record to register with a set certification authority that is CA the before purchasing uh, can commerce. The sequence of transaction using set is the customer first is the customer purchases some goods in an internet shop and places them in his electronic shopping basket. That is, he then chooses this payment card. After that, the order form is sent to the shop. Next, upon safely receiving the purchase and payment information, the merchant forwards the payment information to the acquirer. The acquiring decodes the customer's payment information and asks the card issuer for authorization. Next, when the request for authorization is accepted, it is sent via the acquirer back to the merchant who then confirms the purchase to the customer. Next, the purchase price is then deducted as usual from the customer account and the merchant strips the good to the customer. The merchant requests settlement for the issuer via the acquirer. The transaction remains invisible to the cardholder and shop the said transaction summarized in the figure below. Now see what is FSTC electronic check. The FSTC electronic check, that is Financial Service Technology Consortium. The electronic check is an all electronic payment and deposition gathering instrument that can be initiated from a variety of devices such as personal computer, screen phone, ATM, or accounting systems. Electronic check provides rapid and secure settlement of financial accounts between trading partners over open public or proprietary networks without requiring pre-arrangements by interconnection with the existing bank clearing the settlement system infrastructure. The electronic check is modeled on the paper check, that is that it is initiated electronically, uses digital signatures for signing and endorsing, and digital certificates to the authenticate payer. The payers banks and the bank accounts, however, unlike the paper check, through the use of an issuer defined parameters, the electronic check can be resemble other financial payments instruments such as electronic change charge card slip, traveler's check, or certified checks. Although electronic checks primarily use it to make electronic payments or public network, the project designed will enable electronic check to be used in any situation where paper check is used today. The electronic check is delivered by either direct transmission or by public electronic mail system. Payments, that is deposit consisting of electronic checks, are gathered by banks via email and cleared through existing bank channels such as electronic check preshment ECP or automated clearing house ACH networks. Now see the electronic check concept based on existing paper check model is deposit and clear scenarios, cash and transfer scenarios, lockbox scenarios, and fund transfer scenarios. Now see first, that is deposit and clear scenario. The customer receives a bill or invoice from the merchant, issuer, an electronic check and send it to the merchant. The merchant presents the check to his bank, which in turn will settle it with the customer's bank. Thus, this is the typical check flow. Now, see what is cash and transfer scenario. The customer receives the bill invoice from the merchant issuer as electronic check from the and send it to the merchant. The merchant present it directly to the customer's bank to be paid to the merchant's account at as his bank. Next is lockbox scenario. The customer receives a bill invoice from the merchant issuer as electronic check and send it to the merchant bank either directly or via a lockbox. The merchant banks then send the account receivable information to the bank to the merchant and clearing the payment with the customer bank. In this scenario, there may be no merchant endorsement. Next, fund transfer scenario. The customer receives a bill that or invoice from his bank. The that is assuming electronic bill presentment allow for capture of the merchant's bill by the customer's bank. Issuer issues an electronic check and send it to his bank. The customer banks in turns transfer funds to the merchant's accounts at the merchant's bank. Next, see the transactions flow in the FSTC payment system. Here, the customer gives the check to the merchant and merchant gives the invoice to the customer. Then customer gives the lockbox code to the lockbox check to the merchant's bank. Then the merchant banks give the accounts receivable to the merchant, and then the merchant gave the check, and the customer's bank will directly communicate to the merchant with the check and with the settlement, and the customer gives the settlement with the merchant banks. Next is security. The security or authentication aspects are supported via digital signatures using public key cryptography. The electronic equivalent of the checkbook will provide secure storage of the user's private cryptographic key that is used to digitally sign the electronic check then when written and endorsed and registered of the check that are signed, endorsed and issued by an outside software program via an application programming interface, that is API. Mandate electronic check. next Next is mandate electronic check. The implementation of a check requires that it should always be possible to prove which particular user is its current owner. An ordinary paper check, given certain original physical attributes that are different to reproduce, solve this problem to a large extent. Although fraud is not uncommon, the goal of Mandate TM has been to implement an electronic check, or rather, an electronic realization of a check in the real world. The owner of the document is well defined. In the digital world, files can easily be copied, and then is no way of telling which documents is the original one. As a result of this is creating an electronic payment instrument, security becomes a major issue. If the instrument has to be freely negotiable, as the bank noted, or endorsable check, tamper resistant hardware will have to be used. Now, see the transactions in the collecting banks. The issuing bank gives the payment collection to the collecting bank, and then the gives the notification to the customer, and the customer gave the electronic check to the issuing bank, and the merchant will have no communication links. The transaction flow in mandate. This is the transaction flow in mandate payment system. Next, what is security? The mandate TM is tamper resistant and implemented on special hardware such as an advanced smart card. The mandate TM can be thought of as an electronic checkbook initialized by issuing bank by entering account information is specific to the customer. Furthermore, two public key pairs are generated electronically on the tamper resistant mandate TM. It is essential that the signatures generated to provide non repudiations are never disclosed. It is of course sufficient to represent each check by the hash value and the generating digital signatures inside mandate TM. The message itself does not need to be protected. Once issued, a check is transferred from one mandate TM to another through an unprotected public network, for example by email, in such a way that the following properties hold. The check can be transferred as a meaningful document only to a particular mandate TM. The device, other than an authorized mandate TM, cannot complete the protocols. The system is completely upon to communicate between any two mandate TMs without bilateral agreements. The contractual agreements are between the bank and its clients. Each mandate TM processes two public key pairs, one for signing and one for encryption. Even the owner of the mandate TM does not allow the the secret key is generated on the mandate TM and never left unprotected. Hence, the system providers too is unaware of it. The check consists of information that is payee amount, timestamp, the expiration date, etc., and the corresponding digital signatures, calculated by the means of issuer secret key and the hash value of the information. In mandate TM, the customer assurance public key is installed on each mandate TM along with the two key pairs. When a check is rather the corresponding signature that is protected by encryption is entered on the mandate TM. The mandate TM software assures that it can be released again only once after it has been encrypted under a public key and certified by the customer authorization that is verified by the means of corresponding public key on the mandate TM. This prevents the use of an non authorization mandate TM getting access to a vital signature that defines the check. This encrypted message is useless unless it is imported from the mandate TM holding the corresponding secret key. It is therefore important to realize that the digital signature of the issuer represents the value of the check. Furthermore, an encryption of the particular check on an individual mandate TM can take place only once or rather once a public key has been selected, it is impossible at any later stage to go through the same procedure and other public key. Now see what is net check. The NetCheck is a distributed accounting service for electronic checks. With NetCheck, one can use account on accounting servers of the one's choice, ensuring scalability. These accounts can be used to write and endorse electronic check It is well suited for micropayments to uphold the high performance required for micropayments. The conventional cryptography model is used instead of public key model. Now see the transaction of NetCheck. The NetCheck uses the Kerberos systems for authentication. The NetCheck transaction runs as follows. The user calls a function and specifies the necessary information such as amount and the payee, and the function generates the clear text portion of the check and uses Kerberos to obtain the authentication information, which is placed in the signature field of the check. The check is then encoded and sent through the email through real time transfer. The deposit function reads the check, obtain the authentication information with Kerberos, and open on encrypted connections to pay accounting server to deposit the check. Now see what is security. Due to restrictions by the United States government, downloading the NetCheck software is allowed only for citizens of the United States and for location within the United States. NetCheck implements multiple layer authentications similar to the system adopted by the financial services technology consortium and has an improved double spending detection systems. Now see what seventh is first virtual. The first virtual one of the first internet payment system to be available to the public became fully operational in October 1994. The main goal of this company was to create an internet payment system that was easy to use. Neither customer nor merchant are required to install new software, though the automated sale processing software is available. The only requirement for conducting transaction over the internet using First Virtual is the access to internet. Using the First Virtual is access to email. The first virtual payment system is unique and since that it does not use encryption. A fundamental philosophy of the payment system is that the certain information should not travel over the internet because it is an open network. This includes credit card number instead of using credit card numbers. Transactions are done using the first virtual IPIN, which reference the customer's first virtual accounts. These PIN numbers can be sent over the internet because even if they are encrypted, they cannot be used to charge purchased. They cannot be used to charge purchases to the customer's account. The user's account is never charged without receiving email verification from him. Now see the transactions. The typical virtual transaction runs for the customers enters the virtual IPIN details in the order form to make the payment. The seller sends our first virtual server an email containing virtual pins of both the sellers and the customers along with the description of the purchase. Next, the customer receives an email from the first virtual. Next, On receiving email, customer is expected to respond by confirming or denying. Next, on confirmation from customer, first virtual uses existing secure financial networks to process the credit card transactions. If the credit card transaction is successfully processed, the seller receives an authorization number. Next, the amount of the sale is directly deposited to the seller account on confirming of the goods delivery. Now, thank you for listening.